Hi everyone. In this video we'll be looking at how to use the Avada Global Options. These are the main options in Avada, and together with the Avada Page Options and the individual Avada Builder Element Options, they form the Avada Options network. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with all the latest videos like this one. And if you don't want to miss one, click the bell icon to get notifications of all new videos on our channel. Okay, let's begin. So let's look at the Avada Global Options. You can access these from both the back end as well as directly in Avada Live. From the back end, just navigate to Avada Options from the WordPress sidebar, or Options Global Options from the Avada dashboard. This takes you to the Options page, from where you can access the full range of global options in the back-end interface. From Avada Live, it's even easier. Just toggle the sidebar and head to the first tab, and you can browse and set your global options as you build. But whatever interface you use, you are accessing the same global options. As you can see, there is a wide range of options logically organized into different tabs. Each option is clearly defined and described. Some option tabs also have subsections. For example, if I click on typography, I can see there are 4 subsections here. You can also use the search feature to rapidly filter results from the entire options panel. For example, if I search for font, it quickly shows all relevant results, allowing you to find specific options much faster than scrolling individually through the tabs. One important thing to note with the Avada Global Options is that they affect the entire site. But even though they are global settings, the vast majority of them can be overridden, either in the Avada Page Options, on a page-by-page basis, or in the individual element options as you add them. Let's look at a quick example of that. If we go to the Layout tab, we can see that the layout of this website is set to wide. But if we go to the Page Options and the Layout tab, we could, for example, just set this page to use a boxed layout. Back in the Global Options, as you can see, we have organized the global options to follow as closely as possible the way we interact with and build sites. For example, the Layout tab is first, where you make broad choices about your site's layout, including boxed or wide options, the content width, the page content padding, and configuring any sidebars. Moving slowly through the tabs is a great way to get to know Avada and its possibilities. The Avada Global Options also use what is known as Avada's option network dependencies. What this means is that the only options you see are the ones currently available for your selection. If you change a selection and more options are then available, they will then appear. For example, if I just change this layout to boxed, I get new options for the offset, scroll mode, and shadow type. If you wish, you can turn this feature off in the global options under Advanced Features. If you change the Avada's Option Network Dependencies option to off, then you will always see the full range of options. But this is not generally advisable, as some options will be shown that won't work with your current selections. For more information on Avada's Option Network Dependencies, please see the video and documentation linked below. There are many other interesting options in the Features panel, allowing you to turn various features on or off. If you know you won't be using certain features, turning them off here can result in slightly better loading performance for your site. Indeed, when you run the Performance Wizard in Avada, that wizard looks at your settings and helps you optimize your global options for best performance. Likewise, when you run the Avada Setup Wizard, many global options are set for you as part of either choosing a pre-built site or setting up a new site. The Avada Global Options are not as central to Avada as they once were, due to the introduction of Avada Layouts. For example, if I head to the header section in the global options, we can see a note that the options are not available as the layout is overriding these options. With this website, the same is true with both the menu and footers. Avada Layouts provide a much more flexible and powerful way to create specific layouts for various areas of the website, and as such make the global option approach to these areas obsolete. An important section of the Avada Global Options is the Avada Builder Elements section. This is where you can set global options for most of the elements that Avada offers. For example, if you want your buttons to look a certain way by default, simply come into the button element and configure the default options and styling. Here we can see the default styling for buttons on this site. So if we add a new button, by default it will be based on the styles here. If we look at a button on the site here, we can see that this button is not using the default styling, but rather has the custom option activated. In this way, you can create any type of button you want anywhere on your site. Okay, let's go back to the global options. To save global options in Avada Live, you simply click the Global Save button, which saves page changes, but also global and page options. This is slightly different in the back-end options. Here at the top and bottom of each options page is a Save Changes button to apply any changes you make to the options. Another feature, only available in the back-end options, is the Reset feature. Here you can find both Reset Section and Reset All buttons. The Reset Section button will reset the tab you are on to its default values, but Reset All will reset the entire Global Options panel. Use this with great caution. Of course, the rule of thumb with all WordPress changes is to take backups first, and we also offer the possibility to save your global options so as not to lose all that hard work fine-tuning your site. The very last tab in the Global Options is Import Export, where you can manage your options. To export your options, you can simply copy the options to memory to add to a text file, or you can download a JSON file. In the same way, you can import previously exported global options via a file or the saved code. It's important to note that the Avada Global Options are not somewhere you come once and set and forget. As you build a site, you will be returning here to tweak and adjust many things, as the global options affect the very look and style of the site in many ways. Okay, this concludes our video on how to use the Avada Global Options. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with all the latest videos. And if you have any questions or need assistance, please create a support ticket and our team will gladly assist you. As always, we want to thank you for choosing Avada.